Checking your physique, I don't think I could want you anymore. Chilling with your girl, I'm jealous that I can't just run over and take you on the floor. And I don't wanna cross nobody, I know it's never worth the pain, but I can feel your eyes run down me, and all my sense just fades away. You got me in that dilemma, oh, oh, oh. Cause boy, you a fine looking fella, and you know, no, the grass here is green, I like what you see, thinking of how you could get with me, yeah. Oh, baby, we don't have to tell her, hey, I'm in a dilemma.
Hey, we're live. It's Josh Brown here, and we're building Must Minutes live on stream. It's day 10 now. It's going to be a short stream today. I have to head off this afternoon, so we'll probably be doing about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Hey Razwan, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, we've got a short stream today, but we're going to pick up from where we left off on Friday. So I'm going to be doing some design work, jumping in Figma. We did some Figma designs on Friday, and we started building them out into HTML, so I'm going to continue doing that for a little while. This is the designs. I haven't done much over the weekend, but I did play around with some little graphics here. Got a little bit of a wave going on at the bottom. So that's an SVG that we'll have to drop in at some point. But yeah. And then our HTML, let's see where we're at with that. This is what it looks like right now. This was kind of thrown together at the end of that stream. My G is a busy genius. We have been busy over the last 10 days on this project. Cool. And then this is our HTML. So there's always that first 5 minutes jumping into the project of like, what do I work on next? The other thing that's not going to work very well is responsive, although that seemed to work pretty well. Let's see, what do we have? We've got our header, which is this top section. There's a few things we need to kind of fix up around here. This positioning off to the right. All of this stuff up here ought to be bold as well. So let's try and do bold there. That bolds everything. We're going to have to export our little icon here as well. So let's see if we can do that. Export icon. That's just an image, so we'll export that icon for now. We'll do it at 2x, maybe even 3x. Icon.png. Set images character. There's our icon, and then we can add that in there. Image, I think it's image tag. Does the highlight thingy work now? Not yet, but I did fix the bug, so I haven't done the highlight feature, but I've got the foundation in place for it. Yeah, so I mean, it's probably easier to show you in the code sandbox that I did. Is it code sandbox that I was doing that in? I don't know if it's Quizzical Lake or Crazy Robinson, but let's I think it's Quizzical Lake. Yeah. So you can see each one of these words are now getting highlighted with the word tag. In the end, we had to build our own custom plugin, the kind of input rule plugin that comes out the box with TipTap. Wasn't quite fit purpose for what we wanted. There was a couple of issues. Hey, Sheer Plays, how's it going? Yeah, there was a couple of issues with the input rules plugin. One of them was the fact that underneath this is the same as what the input rules plugin was doing. It uses the handle text input. I see you changed the UI. Yeah, I've been working on the UI. I'm not quite got there yet, but we're kind of working on a design at the moment, iterating our way there. Yeah, so in the end, all of that stuff comes through, and then this also saves. So now we can, if I go to meeting 14, for example, we can go in here, hello world, We can go to the bottom, update, and then it will update. So if I scroll to the top, do I use any front-end libraries? We're kind of using a... Hello, what's there now, see? Front-end libraries, we're kind of using a mixture of things. So JavaScript-wise, we're using Stimulus and Hotwire and Turbo. That all comes from this library called Hotwire, which is a very kind of lightweight approach. So it's not React or Vue or anything like that. It's very minimal kind of JavaScript front-end. But these are kind of quite cool. And then for styling, we're using Tailwind, but we're kind of following the cube methodology. React is so bloaty. Yep. I've done a lot with React over the years, but I'm like actually kind of looking at like different approaches and seeing what they're like. So Hotwire's concept is HTML over the wire. Actually, it's quite a nice name, actually. I like that concept. But it's very much server-side driven. I think there's Hotwire.io as well, which is also the funding terminal outputs that we talked about before. I don't remember the funding terminal out. Ads, sorry. Yeah, and then we're using Tailwind as part of Cube. So Tailwind for utility classes, and then we're kind of using the composition layouts from every layouts. Like X libraries. Oh yes, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you install React, but actually you're installing all of those sub packages, right? I don't actually know how much. I imagine Stimulus doesn't have many dependencies. Yeah, I mean, Hotwired Stimulus, the dependency of itself. What are the dependencies? Is it just dev dependencies? Yeah, so there are no dependencies to Stimulus. And Stimulus is quite cool. So the way that Stimulus works is we've got a in our somewhere there's JavaScripts. And we've got our application just kind of loads up Turbo and the controllers. This is kind of loads up all of the Stimulus controllers, and then we just write a Stimulus controller. So we've got our transcription editor controller, and that sets up our editor with TipTap. And then in our kind of HTML code, we have it will be in our transcription HTML. Actually, it'll be in our form now. We moved it. We have a data controller transcription editor. The Stimulus sees that, hooks in, and then it looks at this. Once that hooks in, it will run this connect method. It's connected to the controller, and then runs the code in here. It also connects to some targets. We've got TipTap target and data target. So in our form, we have data attributes for our transcription editor target TipTap. And we should also have one, yep, there for our data. And then that's it. Then we can just write vanilla JS for the most part. Yeah. Let's see them. UI wise, this needs to push over to the right. What have we got going on here? We've got a cluster. I kind of want to flex end on this, but not on that one specifically. But it's to justify content, I think, on the cluster. Justify end. Is that going to do it? Oh, I've not finished my image tag I was putting in. Rails image tag. Is it image full word? Yeah. Image tag, and then it will be icon.png. Probably should have named that differently, or at least lowercase. Icon.png. We've gone. And we'll do width 80. Is there icon there? Our flex end didn't really work over here. Or justify end. It is applying. The problem I have is that because of my... So I have... My style sheets are a bit weird. I need to fix this. So I have Tailwind as kind of one package of CSS, and then I have my application CSS as like another package of CSS. Really, I want them to be the same. And so I kind of don't want to do this, I suppose. I kind of want to do this in the Tailwind. So I'm kind of borrowing a lot of this Tailwind config from here, so I'm going to look and check that out. What are they doing with their Tailwind config? Because I feel like they've got import glob. So can I install that? I have package JSON, don't I? npm I OCSS import x glob. That should have been a dev dependency. npm I save. Is it? Okay. Oh. What did I do? Did I close that? It's there. Do they have anything else in there that I want? They've got OCSS import as well that I'm probably going to need. I think I need the import one as well. I think those two depend on each other if I remember correctly. Glob glob. So the reason for the glob, which is such a weird word, but the reason for the glob is to make it easier. So I have all of these folders for like blocks, compositions, etc, etc. And so I kind of have this, in this application CSS, this is passed by Rails, and it does this kind of glob that will just require everything that's in these folders. Whereas the Tailwind CSS is processed by Post CSS, and so I can do something similar by using that import glob approach. That's the idea anyway. So I should be able to do this basically. Was that Tailwind base, then the reset, then the variables and the global? I don't think I have the reset. I don't have fonts, and then I have base. Reset fonts, variable, global styles. Now base kind of goes there. And this just means that the utilities, when they come last in the file, they're going to allow it to override these utilities that I've defined and the compositions and blocks. Hey Vish, how's it going? I'm picking up where I was on Friday, so I'm going through the designs that I kind of mocked up in Figma. I added these little waves design pattern to the bottom to try and make it look a little bit more jazzy, I don't know. And now I'm working on some styling issues that I'm fixing up from where we were left on Friday. Blocks, compositions, utilities. I think that's all I have in there. Blocks, compositions, utilities, globals are all required now. I should be able to do that. And then perhaps I get rid of this because this file's not required anymore because we're just going to be doing this. Probably going to have to restart our CSS parser. And everything's going to break. Yeah, I thought it might. So our CSS didn't load. I wonder if I should be doing components. I'm working, so apologies if I go quiet. What does this mean? It's like shocked, right? Nice, it makes it seem less empty with the waves. Yeah, I think just adding that just made it a little bit more interesting at the bottom. So we'll see. I think I tend to do a rough first design, get a good direction going on in Figma, and then I'll jump into HTML and I'll kind of refine the design there. But those waves I could only really do in Figma. I'm going to have to export a SVG or something, I think, from those. I haven't changed the config, so let's see. Is that into it's closer? Or is it closer because it's just got the default styles applied? But I still don't have. So these fields go into here. So do I have, this is all of the generated styles, but there's import glob. So I need to somehow, I probably need to do something in my config to use import glob. Well, we're importing post CSS and we're importing post CSS JS. Is there another? There is a post CSS import file there actually. So perhaps I need to put that somewhere. Ah, too many import files. I'd rather put this in config if I can. After my proc file. We are in Tailwind CSS via the npx Tailwind CSS. What did they do here? Are they running? They're running post CSS. Okay, fine. So that's what we'll do. We'll change it round, and we'll run post CSS. I'm imagining post CSS. I can pass it the config file. Documentation. Setup. I just want to run the CLI. There is a post CSS CLI. We can pass it config file maybe. Yes, --config. Set a custom directory to look for the config file. So that's going to be in our config file. So we can do, what was it, postcss.config.js or something. I don't know what CSS Nano is. Do I want CSS Nano? CSS Nano. Turns it from that to that. Maybe. I'm not going to bother with CSS Nano for now, but we do want import, glob, and Tailwind. We're going to change our proc file to do... what did they do in their package? So that's POCSS now. I don't need the dash I, that's just going to take in app asset style sheets, and then the output is going to be app assets builds, and then the config, which actually is just done with I don't think it's dash C, is it? It's like dash config. I guess we could also see by doing mpx post css dash help, maybe? No. Okay, fine. I probably have to install some more packages. I imagine I need the post CSS and post CSS CLI. npm I save dev post CSS CLI. Do I need anything else? I'm not using CSS Nano. Don't know what this is about. We don't need that. We don't need that. Slugify, I don't think I need that. I might have it already. Oh, didn't mean to click on it. So it's just that. Make sure that I've got post CSS installed. npx post CSS help. Okay, cool. Directory. There's our config. Yeah, so it's just dash config by the looks of it. Dash config, and then it looks like I need to pass it the config directory. Is it going to watch by default? I imagine it will. Was there a command for watching? There's -w, so we'll add -w on the end. O for output, that you've got. Config is in there. Fine. We'll give that a go. So we'll stop this, then start it again. Paying special attention to the CSS. What's going on here? Warn, the content option in your Tailwind configuration is missing or empty. Configure your content sources or generated content. CSS will be missing styles. Nested CSS plugin was detected, but CSS nesting is not being configured correctly. Okay. Oh, I'm going to click that. Add support for nested declarations, we recommend. Okay. It's a bit odd, but fine. They didn't mention anything about that in there, so I guess they didn't have that at that time. Okay. Bit concerned about the content. That's using the default. So if I refresh, we're not going to have any of our colors because it's not gone through our Tailwind config. We require, I guess we need to configure our own custom. It needs to point at the new Tailwind config because it's in a different place to where it's normally looking for it. So I've never using a preprocessor. Use post CSS as your preprocessor. But they didn't have this in their issue because their Tailwind config is in the root. My Tailwind config is in my config folder. They're not actually requiring, they've just got an object there with that stuff in. And I wonder if that's got like the config in there. Do, 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 do. Tailwind OCSS set Tailwind config file configuration. Generating a post CSS config file. How do I change where post CSS? Let's see if ChatGPT knows. How do I tell post CSS where my Tailwind config file is if it's not in its regular position? Sometimes ChatGPT is a little bit slow, especially on Monday morning. Specify the config option. Well, I kind of have. Okay, fine. There's the config option in there, potentially. So do I not need that? I can just do Tailwind, CSS. That means this has to be a config object. A little bit more like what was going on in here, I suppose. Ayo. What was I looking for? I was looking for post CSS config file. It's going to look like that. But they had one which was like on the using with preprocessors, which had some of the stuff we want. So it's like that. Yes, dash. Next one. Hey, let's see. Does that now work? So it's not complained about the other setting, which means that now we should have our styles in there, and now our flex justify end utility class from Tailwind has higher priority than our cluster utility that we've custom defined. So that was the main thing we were trying to fix there. Our justify end comes after our cluster, and therefore it overwrites. We have control over our kind of composition class with our utility classes. So we can say it's a cluster, but we're going to justify end. And that's all that we needed to do there. May even just add some of these. So we added the package JSON. We'll commit them basically. We'll just commit what we need to commit. That was the change, I think. Oh, and the post CSS config. What else have we got? We've got icon, pop out. We don't need to worry about. Cluster is more of the styling we're doing. Same with columned. Same with that. Same with that. Same with that. And that. So the things we've staged are our package JSON. We've added some new modules. Our proc file. We're now using post CSS as our preprocessor rather than just using Tailwind directly. That allows us to use the import glob plugin, and we've configured that correctly. We've removed our styles from our application CSS, so that should now be empty. So if I look in Ed, we have application CSS. In fact, if I go sources and then go assets, assets. How about the styles? Yeah. Our application CSS is empty, just has that comment. Our interfont is there. Our Tailwind config, our Tailwind CSS has all of our styles in the correct order. And cool. So then we can do git status, git commit swap use post CSS as preprocessor styles. And we'll push that. Now we can continue working on the styles. Got the right alignment there, okay. Gap here looks ridiculously large. What's going on there? The default gap by the looks of it. No worries, fine, we can come back to that. This text should be bigger anyway, but I'm kind of just getting the overall composition in place. Flex center there, that's flex right, that's all okay. Then we've got the cluster. Where's the default color here? What's going on? Quite dark color. The porcelain 800. Rather than the Polaris 700, which is the one that's coming through that. I don't really remember what I've put in here. Is this Polaris 800? The H1 is going to, no, it won't, because it's just a element selector. So let's go back to having our demo up. Our text porcelain 800 is up there, but it should potentially override that. Text porcelain 800. Oh, but this is now no longer inheriting the color. Like if it was color inherit, then it would be the 800. Our app's died. Why is our app died? Oh, it's because I never ran it again. After I did the changes in there. Clicking around. Excuse me. Good. Local tunnel seems to be throwing a fit. We don't need local tunnel right now, but This has been fine. I don't know why. Your URL, yeah. Are you good? Is it good? I'm okay to... Yeah. Good. Fine. All happy. Okay. What have we got going on? We've got this. Cluster gap small. Okay. Let's just add a little block for the user bullet, maybe. Is that the best way we're going to do this? I need some colors anyway, so let's maybe go into our design token colors file, and then we can do. I don't know how to do this bit. We've got a bunch of styles here, a bunch of colors. So let's take this one for example. I don't need the 550 to 950 scale on these colors. So I think what I'm going to do is perhaps give them a name of they're not brand. What would you call these? I need a name for this. ChatGPT for a name. I have a bunch of colors for my app. Their only use really is for back of their avatar to identify different users. What would I name these group of colors? Each color is different to make it easy to uniquely identify different people, like mango, rose, lime, tan. What are the names of group of colors? Kind of need a name to describe this group of colors. Identity, accent. Accent's probably not a bad accent. And then we can just do, perhaps this was tan, wasn't it? So is this going to work if I do it like this? Can I then go into, I mean, there's a couple of things there. One, does my tan, accent tan is in there. Does that also then mean I can go into here and do kind of, I guess what I'm really doing here is BG, accent, tan, width 32 pixels, H 32 pixels. I might move this into a block class in a second, but rounded full. Not that one. That works pretty well actually. So now I can just do that to all of my other colours. Let's grab that there, pop that there. What should we call this one? This can be mango. This can be maybe rose. The next one can be lavender. Wasn't a bad shout. Somehow it knew what colour was next. Is that even how you spell lavender? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Aubergine comes to mind. That's annoying to spell, so I'll just go eggplant. Blush, I don't know. I don't know. We can call it caramel. Earth is a horrible colour name. This can be maroon. I wouldn't say that's mint, but forest. Slightly foresty green, I suppose. Tangerine. And then we've already got tan. So those are our 10 different accent colours that we have. And then we can assign those to different people as we identify the speakers. That's the plan there. Class, font bold. Perhaps we have this as a smaller class as well. Text. Small. Then we can just LI again. This one can be tangerine. God, the sneezes are back. Sophie Stevens. Sophie Steves. I don't even know what I had in the original. Yeah, Sarah. We're still like for some reason in the centre. What's going on there? Oh, UL and ULI still has a bunch of stars. I'm using Andy Bell's Modern Reset. And actually, I think I'm using his newer one, but I think I kind of prefer his older one. Remove list styles on ULOL with a list row which suggests default styling will be removed. What did he do in this one? I still have that, so perhaps if I set the role of list on the UL. There already was no list style on there, but is that... Did I take it off? No, I haven't done any styling to it. We can just do class M0. We don't want any margin. And no padding either. But we will want flow because we want these LI elements to flow and have separation. And same up here, we'll want this whole section to flow. But really, the first paragraph can have MT0. We don't want any margin on the top there, but we should have some space underneath that paragraph there. What's going on there? No, because M0 is overriding it. We can just say ML0. We don't want any margin left padding. In fact, was there any? Doesn't look like there was any need for that. I think it was padding that was controlling that anyway. Cool. Our characters, our people can have text. Valorous 700. Is that what I put in here? 800 in there. That looks alright. That looks better. What was my text sizes? Font sizes, base, SM, XS. Fine, so it's like 12 pixels. I wonder about bringing up the small font size, because it feels a little bit maybe too small, but probably okay. I feel like the line height here is too big. Line height 1. Just to bring those two together a bit more. Okay, line height. What's the leading? On here, so we can just do leading 0. No, 1. Leading 1 rem. Leading 4. That brings it as to 1 rem, because before it was relative, but now it's rem. And then if I ended up with can I make use of faker in here? Can I do like faker generate Ruby faker generate I don't. No, I didn't want 5 names. No. Can you show me the code in Ruby to use faker to generate 5 names? I want some Ruby code. Yeah, okay, fine. So I can just kind of do this. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for this demo, what I can do is I can just do 5 times do, and then I can, in the name, I can just do faker generate. I don't know what that bit there. How's that look? Yeah, Debbie, Megan, Roscoe, Elvis, Vince. Why is there a 5 there? That's weird. Where did the 5 come from? Is that because I did 5 times? Oh, it's because I'm echoing out the 5 at the end. I don't need that. Every time I refresh, I get 5 different names. I also need to generate a random color. Colors equals. What was my color names? Let's go full screen for a sec. Grab this and I don't want it to go over here. There we go. And mango, rose, lavender, eggplant, blush, caramel, maroon, forest, tangerine. Accent, colors. When I do this, can I get out the eye? And then can I, in here, accent, colors, eye. Does that work? No. Broke something. Local terminal is playing up for me today. I'm not really using it until I... In fact... Oh, let's just... Can I comment out? Does that then not run? Okay, cool. I comment it out. That'll stop it being so fragile. No, that didn't work. I don't think I could do that. Cool. I do 5 times with index or something. 5 times not with index. I don't know. 1 is there for. I mean, what's it actually spitting out there? I imagine it's just spitting out the oh no, they are all there. Maybe they've been in the code the whole time. The problem now makes sense. Yeah, they are all there. The Ruby code is fine. That does work. The bit that's now not working is that those classes aren't defined anywhere. So actually I need the full class. I can't compose the class name because otherwise Tailwind doesn't know that it needs to inject those classes into the CSS. So I need full class names. That's quite annoying because that gets quite long. And then I can... There we go. Arnold, Clay, Ezekiel, Isha, 2, Sarah Stevens. Fine, I'm not going to worry too much about the timestampy bits on them at the moment, but that looks right. That's fine. Cool. The other bit that maybe just needs tying in is our application HTML ERB has this like huge padding on it. Actually, it probably shouldn't have now. But now we've got no padding. P small, perhaps all the way around. P medium. Maybe large. Large is okay, I think. Horace, Joseph, Johnny, Floyd, and Harrison. And then Sarah Stevens just chilling at the bottom there. Let's grab out Sarah Stevens. The point of doing that was now I don't have to keep repeating all of these. I can just build it once. I can try 8 times and just put it out a bit more. Hedwig. Let's perhaps grab this transcript that's in here and then just ask ChatGPT. Generate a agenda for this meeting. I don't know. And then I'm just going to use that as our basis. I'll be able to come up with an agenda, so we'll just get ChatGPT to generate one for us. Perhaps as part of this, I could also go to like underscore form for our transcriptions. And then we'll have an input type hidden name data value, which I'll grab in a bit, and then data transcription editor target data, and then we'll add a div around all of that. That goes there, that goes there. And then this can be data controller. No, data controller is our transcription editor. And then I'll need to add in the colors can close now. Did this generate us some minutes while we were doing it? Yeah, okay, cool, nice. Let's go to meetings 13, inspect. This value is too large to edit. Copy element, copy. Yeah, copy element. This is going to be a nightmare. It's going to struggle to format that, but I don't even know if that's copied the whole thing in properly. No, it's there. It's. I mean, I have another problem I've got to solve, but. Cool. And then on the left hand side, I'll just put in that agenda that was copied across for us. Let's fit this off to the right, to the left, close the side bit. Our agenda can be an ordered list where we have opening remarks, li, li Reflections on Rails World. Special guest appearance. Conference highlights. Not B. What are you doing, man? After party experience. Sponsor acknowledgement. Ruby confessions. Closing remarks. Open floor. An adjournment of the meeting. How's that looking in here? Cool. I feel like I need to add in here for some of them, perhaps a nested ordered list, like add subpoint, because that is something I probably want to be able to do. And also our thing did that as well, so let's do that. OL LI again, welcome and introductions. I don't know why I'm manually typing this out. I could definitely have got ChatGPT to generate the HTML here for me. Turn the meeting agenda into a HTML list with sub items as nested ordered lists. Sure. Yeah, I don't necessarily need the strong tag, but sure. I mean that probably makes sense. I wonder actually about whether I should bother trying to... I could make some of these things like pinned, so... But I don't know if I should need to see the very bottom of the screen. I think actually it's probably worked pretty well. Rather than having just this scrolling, like these could be sticky to the top. Probably need this bar across the top to also pin to the top of the screen. I need to figure out how the scrolling is going to work. And I need to also figure out how responsive is going to work at some point, because that's not the answer. That's something I need to figure out. Is ChatGPT finished? Yeah. Sweet. Copy code. There's a lot going on over there in that corner, but perhaps on this one, class PL0. Like I don't need padding, I don't think, on that initial list. I need some padding apparently because the H2. Oh, of course. Okay, fine. Class equals flow. Perhaps we space. Add some space into those items. That looks a little bit cleaner. There's a lot going on the screen now. I think on smaller screens, I'm just going to have to make these sections disappear and have them as like pop open windows or something, like modals. Like there's too much to be able to do. Yeah, I think on smaller screens, these kind of wings that pop out the side probably collapse in and become like a stack, maybe, that you filter through. Probably makes sense. I think they partly feel a bit weird because the bits that are set as strong probably need to have the same color as the other bit. Let's see, color. There is no text. Alorus. Is it 700 or is it 800? I think it might be 800. Yeah, 800. I can't think of the different list style options. List style. Oh, it's none of those that I want. No, there's so many list styles. Inside probably makes sense for one of the things I want to do. Lower alpha. Lower Roman. One A. I kind of prefer that. Now I think rather than doing this here, this is something that can be in the base. So if I have an OL, which has an OL in it, then that list style type can be lower alpha. I also feel like the indentation here might be too much, and perhaps this style position inside might make more sense with a padding left set to, or padding inline set to 0. I don't know now, because like this text wrapping bit is the bit that maybe looks a bit weird. What are the options? Is it just inside and outside? I don't want to do that. Let's just use this window. CSS, list style position. Inside, outside. Yeah, inside and outside. I think we'll go outside then, just because of that. But then maybe we do adding inline start to be small. Then it's like one rem. And actually that works quite well. I wonder if we do the same to just OL in general. Creates a bit more space for those. Large maybe, just to give it a little bit more presence there. I don't know, because now it's not lined up with agenda. Maybe small does make more sense there, and then I can get rid of that. Just a lot of text on the screen is the problem, I think. Very busy. Very busy. This link can have text, decoration, text. Like, how do I get rid of the underline? Font none? Normal. No, underline. Decoration. I don't want any decoration. No underline, okay. Sometimes they're straightforward like that, sometimes they're annoying. Okay. What's going on with our tip tap? We have, I believe we have some styles for tip tap already. As a block. Let's just close some of these because they're getting in the way. Box. No. We just got them in our global. No, where am I styling tip tap? Where is it styled? There are some. Rosemary's been styled somewhere. It looks like it's just a style tag that gets added to the page. Oh, and then I've got the utility classes being added to it. So that's done in our transcript editor controller. We've got these. I think we should have flow. I'm going to be right back. Let's just do be right back. Be right back. Back. Let's get rid of that. Command Z. Command Z. Zero. Command zero. Let's see. I think we need to add something to these paragraphs so I can then style them appropriately. Something that's going to be interesting actually is I need to work out how to... We're going to have to pass some information about the speakers into here at some point. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Obviously we'll pass speaker 0, speaker 1, but what we also need to pass in is actually speaker 0 is Rosaria, I don't know, or Abdul, or Gwendolyn, or Deshawn. Ping? What kind of name is Ping? It's a new name. Marshalline? I'm butchering these names. Anyway, I need to style the paragraphs up. Also, I need to do some sort of active state to let you know when you're inside the window. Generally though, I think this looks pretty good. It's kind of coming together there. Fan, the words will need highlighting at the right time. I still need to also do the media playback controls at the top here. That will also need to stick, and then the rest will slide underneath. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, not sure. Going to be interesting. Utterance node. It says paragraph actually, but that's inside this div, and this div is actually the utterance, right? So actually on here I can do dom dot class list utterance node. Cool, so now I've got something I can grab hold of. I can go into I think I'm going to do it in blocks, I guess. Probably makes the most sense, and perhaps we'll just do tip tap or just edit a block. Utterance node. Border left 4 pixel solid var color accent tan. And padding. I like to use the inline logical properties. And not one rem, we'll do var spacing small, large, I don't know, one of those. Did we set that right? Utterance node. I need to perhaps reload the CSS. Now that I've added a new file. Yes. Adding inline start. It's not spacing, is it? It's like space. Mid. Try small. Looks okay. And then if I, obviously for the longer ones, it's longer there. I need to get rid of the active state. That's kind of annoying. What's going on with the... What is this data tip-tap style? Can I take all of that and have control over it, please? Because that is all of the... Is that also the editing date, color, border? Focused. Gets prose mirror focused. And the focused... I don't know. When we're in here, tip tap. So can I go in here and like focus active, focus within? Tip tap dev. Styling. I want to control the styles. Let me do the styles. I am passing editor props attribute class. But you're still disable the loading of the default CSS. That is the default CSS. Inject CSS false. That's the bit that I need. Let's see. I'll comment that out. Why does that not let me? Comment. Transcription, edit controller, inject CSS, set to false. Okay. Okay, but we still get the focused state. I think that's tailwind, maybe. Focus. I think that's a focus ring. Focus. Or like, could I do like ring 0? Ring 0? I don't know why. Where is this coming from? Focus ring 0. I just want to know where it's coming from. Problem is, every time I try to inspect, we end up losing focus out of it. Is it Tailwind or is it editor? It feels like it's Tailwind. How to stop Tailwind from adding focus state? I don't know. It's doing something. There we go. We should have some sort of focus state though, but also it is a text editor primarily, so perhaps it doesn't need a. Okay, cool. Fine. Doesn't seem like any of that was really required. There might be some stuff that comes in more useful later, but it also actually wasn't a thing that was impacting, so perhaps I just leave that code in there since it's default styles, and then I have control over it. And I can just do in here like a comment that just says pose mirror style default styles. Yep, fine. Now our utterance node. For our utterance node, we need to add, at the moment we're just using this border. I actually think the border probably isn't the best option, but actually perhaps what we can do is a before, or the utterance node does need to be there like that, but utterance node before position absolute inset block start, or inset block 0, inset inline start 0, so that's like left hand side the entire height. Background color can be var color accent tan. That's an empty section there. And then I need to set a width as well, which is an inline size. That going to do the same thing. Yeah, kind of, but this needs to go, and this becomes position relative. Yeah. And the reason for doing all of that was that I can now do border radius 9999 pixels to make it fully rounded. And yeah, so I can do 8 pixels here. Is 8 pixels? 8 pixels is a bit too much. 6. Five works. Perhaps what I'll also do is just do padding lock var space excess, just to add some space on the top and bottom. It might be a bit much. Is there an XXS? No. Do I want space? Or even just 2 pixels, just to make it breathe a little bit. I don't know if that's going to mess with the flow though. I don't want to mess with the flow of the document too much, so I'm going to get rid of the padding there. We'll have that gone. The other bit that might be interesting here is can you style the pseudo elements? Yeah, you can. So I can do like before BG. I was just thinking maybe the color it gets defined in this JavaScript. So I can do const. Well, let's just do const colors up here, and then kind of want the same colors we had. Oh god, where's the we want this, and then in here I can just use the I because we have speaker 0 to thing, so const color equals colors passing split on the underscore, turn that modulo it by the color length. I shouldn't need to do color length. -1. Is it 0? It does start 0, isn't it? Speaker 0 is the first speaker. DOM class add list color, but actually it's like, oh, and this is where I'm gonna have to do the whole, oh, that's annoying. We are gonna do it like that, but then on here these are all going to, no, is there a, no, not that one. Yeah, Alt and Command. Before colon BG, we're styling the before. No. Before BG accent rows. Hmm. What's it done? Like, because it's...
Listen to me speak, but just do what you want.
Utterance node. The before is all gone. Which is a bit weird because there it is. It's overriding the content. There we go. And it doesn't want to do that because that's actually really annoying because now I've got to... I could set tailwind content actually. It's kind of annoying to have to do that because I'm like fighting tailwind somewhat. That's looking like a multicolored rainbow. Okay, that's not really the vibe. Not the vibes, man. Perhaps I could do the color with the name, but not with the line on the side, because it's looking a little bit mud. Federico, Tony, Dustin, Ellsworth, Tony. Scroll really quick, it's a bit chaotic. Wonder if I can... the pop out margin bottom -2 rem. Yeah, pops out the bottom as well. Nice. Yeah, it's not really the vibe. The other bit that I need to add in here really is the time. And so... there is a lot going on here now. It's kind of hard to understand what the HTML structure looks like. Now I've got a couple of options. I could look at HTM, not HTMX, but HTM. There's a HTM preact, but I don't necessarily want preact. I could do HTM lit. I think. HTM lit, is that a thing? Lit. Like JSX, but also lit. Lit was the other thing, I think. JS. Lit is more about web components, if I remember rightly, rather than that HTM stuff. The other option is doing something like handlebars. Or mustache. Mustache probably makes sense. Then I can use the template tag as well. Can I render a template just from a string? Will that work? There is just render there, yeah, like that. So I could just import mustache and or pin it. And that might be a little bit cleaner than doing all of this. This is quicker. More performant, I should say. What do I need to add? I just need to actually add the details about the first spoken word, which actually in itself is probably interesting because that's about content. I need to get from the node. Let's just log a node. See what we get. Inspect element console. Stick it at the bottom. So every node we get the attrs, which is the speaker, we get its content. Oh. Which content has lots of text nodes. And then that node will have a mark, and that mark will be a word mark, and that mark will have a bunch of attrs, which will have the start time, which we can then convert into like 18:55 seconds, like the 30th minute. Actually quite a chunky piece of work. Okay. I don't need to worry too much about that bit right now. Media controls are probably the next thing. Perhaps add a little cursor like tool here to like skip to bottom or something. Controls, like stuff down here. What else do I have? I have this progress bar. Let's try and actually do some more of the things. So in here, the utterance node, we have a select, and let's set the color of that to var color. I mean, you could set that to the thing, but also let's just set it to Elorus 800 for now. Also, let's do border 0. Actually not bad looking. Obviously speaker 0 isn't the right thing there, but
I just wanna sleep forever. I wish you'd come. Stuck inside a dream forever. Climb only to fall. I don't wanna bring you down, so I lock myself away.
Need to work out how I'm going to do the speed, because that's probably a good shout at some point. Pull that data through. Let's go into our demo HTML. This big blob of noise is actually quite annoying. I think I'm going to take that out because it's actually going to make this really hard to do. But actually what I can do in here is just do transcription.last.find. Perhaps just last. Data. Does that work? I'm not sure. Have another div. This one isn't opening remarks. This one is going to have our media file, which if I look at the recording, _recording, show on the recordings, that's how that bit works. We want our audio tag, which is our recording file. Now let's just do recording.last file. No, actually, it's not. How much can we style that? Because that layout actually probably isn't far off what we want anyway, and I don't want to spend loads of time. So perhaps we can just go. Let's just go for bass for now. Audio. Width 100%. That's the first thing. We'll have flow in here as well. Pop out and flow, because we want all of these things to have space between them. Nice set the background color to subbing. Display block. Background red. No, see. It's very loud, sorry. Well, what I'm thinking is actually this could have the same background there. If I can get it to match this color or the border color, one of the two. Perhaps reduce the border radius so it matches the border radius of that. Perhaps even bring in the padding a little bit so it kind of overlaps some of this stuff. It probably works pretty well as the media playback controls. Then we have the volume control slider in there as well. Let's see if I can actually extract out that thing from the node. So it's node content. Node content. Which has an array of content. And then that will have marks 0, which will have atters, which will have a start. If I do a new line, it's going to break because it's like, oh, I can't find word. It matters. But we don't worry about that right now. What are the things that might not exist? There might not be any content. There might not be any marks. But if there is a mark, it should have atters and it should have start. And if there is content, then... So does that fix the bug? No. Undefined reading marks. Const start time equals that. Not const. I'm gonna move this down somewhere. Let's move it after we append the speaker label. If there is a start time, then we can let's not do that. But yeah, something like that. It's not bad. I need to set the what is it? I need to set content editable. Start time label content editable false, otherwise it's going to cause havoc. That works. What do we want to do now? We need to set the start time label to something that's more accurate. So currently we have a string probably, or a number of some kind, and ChatGPT to the rescue, turn seconds into a format like 0000 15 second into a format like that using yes. Left up 4 pad start. That makes sense. Make sure there's zeros added to the bottom. 152. Let's just stick this at the very bottom of the file, and we can just do format time. Does that work? Yeah, I don't need the dot 0.269 though, so let's just we should floor it. Oh, but it's not doing. I've got floor on that. No, got floor. There we go. So then that gives you a bit of an indication as to the time that that thing was set. We can go in here and just actually fix up the transcript. So this would be like speak 2 and then like speak 4 or whatever it's going to be, right? feel like actually down here it works quite well because they're just like, you're not really paying attention to the stuff at the sides when you're in here. Perhaps the agenda is a bit too much at the moment. Position sticky. Then it will just stick to the top. Z index 999. And the media playback control should be at the top the whole time, even as you scroll. Same with these, I'm going to make those sticky. Yeah. Customize CSS of audio player controls. I don't want to have to create the whole. I mean, I can. I've done it before, but I don't want to create that much custom. I'm gonna have to. Styling the audio element. I mean, I don't want to do that, but yeah, that's kind of pointless. Oh, okay, yes, we have those. They're like audio, background, color, porcelain 100. Border radius and pixels. I'll just hard code that value for now. No, that's not stylable. Stylable? More tools. Go shadow DOM. Alright. Where am I going? Sorry for the bouncing between the files there. More tools. Oh yeah, I can see the shadow DOM somehow. I didn't read the file. I need to stop pressing that button. Sorry. 3 dot ellipsis, more tools, settings, more tools, settings. Well, I guess it's Chrome, Dev Tools, Go, Shadow DOM. I want to see the shadow. The cog icon in the top right cog. Show the user agent shadow DOM. Refresh. Yeah, that's. Okay. That's the thing that I need to style. There we go. Now when I have that in there and do that, it will go in the right place. The other option as well is like maybe 200. Perhaps I can just set color on the audio thing itself. Color red. No. Color red. No. I was trying not to have to set color on those all individually, and also that play pause button is actually a background image which has an SVG embedded in it. That might be hard to set the color of, but now I've got the background, but now I want the buttons to be in the right style. I'll have to build my own, I think. It's going to be the best option there. Perhaps I could do margin minus 10 pixel. Or not on that, but perhaps on this div that surrounds it. Margin minus 10 pixels. And then it feels like it's becoming part of the thing more. Plus equals M minus 10 pixels. I don't typically like doing that, but I guess I can add 10 pixels back on the bottom. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there. I've got some other things to do. That's 2 hours as well. We made lots of progress since this morning. Got the transcript editor in here, started styling up the transcript editor, brought in all of the people's names and done all of the colours there. Got the gender in there. It's coming along. I think there's a lot going on. It's quite overwhelming, the UI at the moment, it feels. I think I need to get my spacing. Not another 6-hour session this time around. No, I've got to head off. I'm on holiday from tomorrow, so I have to pack my bags, get ready to go. So we head to the airport. It's tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning we fly. So yeah, no streams for the rest of the week, and then I'll be back on next week, and those will probably be 6-hour long streams. I'm sure there'll be some of those in there. Excited to get back into this though when I come back, and get some of this other stuff in, and then I think we're probably not far off being able to generate minutes with this. Obviously the agenda stuff and the participant stuff, there's still a lot to do. Yeah. But for now, that'll do. I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I'm gonna start packing my bag, get ready to go. Cool. Thank you for watching, hanging out, chilling. I've been enjoying this, so thanks for being around. I'll catch you next week. Enjoy the break, have fun trying to remember what you need to do when you're back. Yeah, that's always the worst. And you come back and be like, oh, what was I doing? I always like to leave it kind of somewhere in the middle, because then there's generally like, if there's a bug or something to fix, you can just work on that next. I don't know what I'm going to work on next. I'm gonna have to figure that out because I'm kind of like not really in the middle of something apart from this big project. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna work on next. Perhaps those media controls. I mean, the next thing might be to get this actually into the app as part of the thing rather than this demo HTML file. So I don't know. I'll figure that out when we get back, I suppose. But yeah. See you later. Bye.